Hi guys, it's Savannah. Welcome back to my channel. It is really hot today, so excuse me for the low energy. I am working on it. Today's video is going to be about reading, and everybody will tell you that it's important to read and to learn so that you can grow in life, so that you can progress in the things you want to do, learn about the subjects that you want to improve upon in your life. Sorry, it just got really windy all of a sudden. But everyone's going to tell you that you need to read in order to be more successful and to attain more knowledge in any given subject. And I wanted to talk in this video a little bit about the notion of not having enough time to read, because everybody, okay, not everybody, most people are going to make up the excuse, I don't have time to read. I don't have time to read. I work 10-hour work days. I try to go to the gym and to have 10-hour work days. Like, everybody's got their responsibilities that they are balancing out, and reading oftentimes is not one of those priorities. And that's okay. What I want to talk about in this video is how you can incorporate reading into your life while still doing the things that you've got to do, and being able to just add reading on as an accent to these activities, and also to make it really easy and really effortless to just add growth through the written word to your daily life. So you've probably had somebody tell you, oh, well, if you don't have time to read, then you should try audiobooks. And you'll be like, no, I don't want to sit around and listen to an audiobook. But I have to assert how integral it is to try it. Some people not into it, I get that, but there are different speakers for different types of audiobooks, and not every speaker is going to be a good one. So if you listen to an audiobook and you don't like the way the reader is, you can find other audiobooks with different styles of speakers. There are a lot of interesting audiobooks that are spoken to sound kind of like a TV show, where the reader is actually acting the words that they're saying in terms of fiction. Right now I'm listening to Game of Thrones, as the show's already ended, I know, but I'm listening to the first book, and the reader is so incredibly entertaining, and it's because he adds character and he adds emotion. And people that are hired to read audiobooks are hired to read them not because they have a nice speaking voice, but because they're good at acting in the... Did you just see a fly midair? They're good at acting in the way that the book is meant to be read and the way the author intended it to be read. On Audible, you can actually find books that are read as if they were a TV show, with a whole cast of actors, voice actors, reading different parts and playing out scenes and stuff. So in terms of not liking the way an audiobook is read, there's definitely tons of options. And if you think about it too, audiobooks aren't just somebody reading a book to you. If you think about it in the way that when we watch TV, you hear it and you see it, audiobooks are literally just TV shows, but without seeing something. You can put an audiobook on while you're driving to and from work. You could put it on while you're like going on an hour-long trip, and then boom, you've read a fifth of a book in an hour by just listening to it. You could even put it on while you're on the treadmill at the gym or the elliptical or whatever. And I know this sounds crazy, but it actually really helps with cardio, because I personally still, I weightlift, and I weightlift with music. That's the only way I can get myself motivated. That's the only way that I can keep myself going. That's the only way that I can really empower myself, is with pumped up, amped up music. But with cardio, it's a whole different story, because when you're listening to an audiobook, you have somebody basically talking you through the run. So you have something to focus on that's a little more interesting and thought-provoking than music, because you likely already know the music you're listening to. With audiobooks, you're learning something new, you're following a new story. And sometimes you can get so invested that before you know it, your run is already over or almost over, or you've already run a mile and you just didn't even notice it go by. Not only are you going to learn, and not only is it going to be entertaining for you, but it's actually going to help you run. The other solution for not having enough time to run is you could just watch TED Talks. You could watch them, you could put them on in your car while you could do all the same things that you do with audiobooks, but with TED Talks. Or you could use TED Talks as a replacement for TV, and I know that sounds crazy, but hear me out. You could even just put on a TED Talk before watching your favorite TV show, or decide that in order to earn a few episodes of your favorite TV show, you can watch a few TED Talks. And what this does is it slowly builds up interest in learning new things by saying, okay, well, if I'm going to watch this, I might as well watch something in this subject or this subject that interests me. If you're interested in fashion, or if you're interested in photography or psychology or writing or music or whatever it is, you can seek out new videos on all of these topics. And the more you get interested in seeking out opportunities for growth, and before you know it, you'll be gobbling these videos up, and you will decide that you want to watch a TED Talk instead of an episode of How I Met Your Mother, or you will start to listen to an audiobook instead of music while you're on the treadmill, because this is certainly not wasted time. I mean, if you're cleaning, you gotta clean anyways, and if you're running, you know, you're gonna run anyways. But this is time that would have otherwise been a missed opportunity for learning, when you could just turn on an audiobook or a video and decide, hey, you know what, I might as well learn something, especially if you don't have much time during the rest of your day to add this to your routine, to your daily rituals. So again, you could listen to audiobooks, you could listen to / watch TED Talks while you're cleaning, while you're running, while you're driving. Don't watch TED Talks while you're driving, you can listen to them while you're driving. But beyond that, if you say that you don't have time to read, you could read a couple pages every night, read for 10 minutes every night, just so that you're doing it. It's not going to be, oh, I read 100 books in a year if you're only reading 10 minutes a night, but you can definitely learn that much more. You can read a book every 2 weeks, and then you're still doing more than if you wouldn't have. A book every 2 weeks is 2 books a month, and a year, that's 24 books a year that you otherwise wouldn't have been reading. Sorry, 26 books a year. And if you insist that you don't have time to read and you don't like audiobooks, then just try connecting with people around you. We are surrounded by all kinds of sources of knowledge and wisdom. All we have to do is knock on our neighbor's door or say hi to the person down the street. Ask that guy at the gym what he did to get so buff. Ask that chick at the gym what she did to make her butt look so good. And see if you can learn a thing or two from these people. Every human being has their own path and their own journey and the things that they went through that are all unique to them. Everybody's gone through similar things, yes, but everybody's story is unique in their own way. And the person walking next to you on the sidewalk may have gone through crazy things that you could have never even imagined yourself to go through. And all you have to do is ask and talk about it. And in this way, you learn what it means to live a fulfilling life, but you also learn to connect with people, and that builds confidence, that builds your knowledge base, that builds stories that you can tell to others, that builds stories that you can use to motivate yourself and to keep yourself going. And if you meet people that aren't necessarily as nice, not really people that you'd like to be like, then you reinforce the kind of person you want to be by saying, okay, that guy went through all this stuff and he didn't overcome it, and instead he became this, that, or the third. I don't want to come up with any examples. I know what not to do so that I don't end up like that guy. And then you meet somebody else who totally contradicts that person and introduces you to a way of life that you would like to have, that you would like to pursue. It's important to keep learning and to keep growing, because if you're not, you're stagnating, and stagnation doesn't lead the way to growth or improvement. It just leaves you exactly where you are. And if you're totally fine with where you are, if you want to work the same job forever, if you want to be in the same place forever, then by all means, do what you got to do. But even the most successful people in the world that make billions of dollars to this day still are looking for opportunities for improvement, or to make a new business, or to start a new company, just so they can add to their life in as many possible ways as they can. So think about that and try out these techniques. They've really helped me. I went from barely listening to or reading any books to reading 7 books in the last month. My goal is to read like 50 to 75 books this year, so these techniques have really helped. In the past 3 days, I've listened to 10 hours of the 33-hour Game of Thrones book, so like this stuff works for sure. And I've been able to learn lessons from people that I don't have access to in real life. I'm currently listening to Mel Robbins' The 5-Second Rule. I've listened to Awaken the Giant Within by Tony Robbins. I've listened to Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert. I'm listening to Game of Thrones right now. I've listened to Shoe Dog by Philip Knight, which is the creator of Nike. There's all kinds of stories that are out there for your taking. There's all kinds of people out there to learn from. All you have to do is pick up a book, an audiobook, a video, or just say something to someone down the street. On that note, this video is pretty windy. I apologize for that. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, your week, your life, your year, and please let me know if there's anything you would like me to talk about in one of these videos. Let me know if you have any suggestions, and give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Hit subscribe if you like my vibe, if you would like to check in and just see more videos that are like this. I would love to connect with you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys.